Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Alex Jimenez. I'm the founder of IX Media. We've made our clients a little over 350. Hopefully, by the time you watch this, 500 grand. I know I keep saying that, but I haven't checked, to be very honest with you. For sure, over 350 grand. In this video, I wanted to break down the things I have learned, the most important lessons I've learned in email marketing for the last 2 years. I mean, I started IX Media back in 2023. We got our first client early 2024, so it's literally about to be 2 years now, and we work with 20 different e-commerce brands for multiple different types of products and industries. So yeah, here's my review. Here are the top 9 things I've learned of email marketing, the biggest lessons I have. I'll try to be concise in every one of them. I don't want to waste your time. Number one, value attainment emails win. This one I'm especially not going to take too much time because I preach about this the whole time in all my videos, but value attainment wins, right? Value attainment, edutainment, whatever you like to call it. Emails that give value to the customer first always win. And the reason I could say this definitively is because we've tested it, right? We've launched A/B, not even A/B tests, but like literally months where the biggest thing we push is sales, and we'll do that for a 30-day period. And this is back in 2024. And then there's periods where we launch nothing but value attainment emails. And what you'll see is in a long enough graph, for some brands, it's 2 weeks, but usually after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, that 2 week to 4 week period, you're going to see sales start to dip dramatically, right? And again, in the context of only sending sales-based emails out where they have a discount, a product, promotion, anything like that. And the reason why is that people don't want it's kind of like you're I don't think this is a swear word, so I'm gonna say you're kind of whoring themselves out. You're kind of whoring yourself out, in the sense that when you send only sales-based emails out, all you're doing is you're just devaluing your brand or devaluing your brand, right? If I go to a brand and I see, okay, this brand has 20% off, 20% off, I don't really care at that point because I know you're going to launch another sale the next day. And that does two things bad. That does bad in twofold. Number one, people don't respect your brand because they know you only launch sales. But number two, when you actually have a sale going on and you act like, for example, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you can't give a higher, you can't give a higher discount because, you're already having a big sale. And obviously people know that you already give big sales. So now they're going to expect a huge discount. And if you don't give that huge discount, which will crush your margins, people aren't going to buy. It's a higher chance people are going to buy. Opposed to sending value attainment emails out, and I say this multiple times, it's a twofold win. When you give when you send value attainment emails out, not only do you help the customer make a better buying decision, which long term crushes for your brand, for our brands at least, but you're also helping them make obviously a good guess. But when the sale comes around, you're helping them make a better decision because now, of course, they have all the information, but because you've been holding back any type of sale, the moment you actually give a discount off, they're like, oh my gracious goodness, this brand that I love is finally on sale. I should take advantage now. Now I'm simplifying it, obviously, but that is the main point. So value attainment emails win. What's up, buddy? Send them out 70 to 80% of the time. And sorry, my husky came in. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. I'm so sorry. Oh my gracious goodness, this dude. Hold up, I gotta cut this off. Hold up. Anyways, moving on to number two, quality and copy are the basis for everything. So I kind of gone back and forth with this over the past 2 years, and I think I've kind of settled on it right now. Um, and I'll touch on this on number eight. No, on number seven, a little bit more. But the point is, the copy and the design is the basis of every email marketing you send, or of your email marketing channel as a whole. And what I mean by that is you could send the best concept wise topics out, value attainment wise. So you could say, oh, we're going to launch recipe emails and then routine emails and then riddles and then fun facts. And then we're also going to throw in some newsletters. And then when we, have our SMS messages going out, we're going to promote our new, products and everything. But if you don't have the copy and the design in lock, nothing else matters. And I'm saying that so like, I'm trying to stress this point so hard, and it just because it's so true. If you have a great email idea, but you have crappy copy and design, it's not going to perform well. And again, I could speak from this firsthand because specifically, I remember in 2024, no, the end of 2024, going into 2025, we signed another client, and for us, it was a big step up. It was a bigger brand, bigger client, more subscribers, and so forth and so on. And obviously, like we're going to try our best. So we do this, and at the time we weren't focusing on copy or the design much because I was trying to do this whole like not laptop lifestyle type of thing, but I wanted to focus more on growing the business fundamentally. This all has context. Trust me, just stay with me. So as a result of that, I didn't put too much focus on the copy and the design and really just the true beauty of an email. You think it's corny, but I mean it's so true. I mean email marketing is such a beauty, right? I mean, everything from the deliverability, it's like a harmony, it's like a symphony. Every little thing has a component, and this is like your trumpet and bass player, if that makes sense. This is like the very basis of everything. If you have the best music sheet and the best song on paper, aka when you have the best email idea on your calendar, and you try to execute with crappy copy and design, the results will, and I'm saying this so seriously, will literally be like 1/4 of what you thought they would be. They're not going to be anywhere close to what you're thinking, and it's extra bad because a lot of the times you'll put a lot of effort into having a great email and having the strategy and having the calendar, but the moment you launch the email, because of bad copy and design, doesn't go anywhere. So that's the second most important lesson I've learned. The third one, I should make a meme of myself. Send more emails out. That's it. Send more emails out. If you have 5,000 email subscribers or less, 1 to 2 times a week is good. If you have 5,000 email subscribers or more, even if you're a new brand, like even if you're just getting started, 3 to 4 emails a week, that's where you should be going. Unless you're like completely new, and even then, that's number 3. I've said this 100 million times. Number 4, A/B tests are worth doing if you have above 10,000 profiles. I made a video a long time ago on this. That was the first time I did this type of format, but A/B tests are very overrated. Like I heard this story, and because I want to include a little story that proves the point. I heard a story of somebody that also did email marketing, but it was cold email, and it wasn't for e-commerce, for agencies. And the story is pretty much the guy that had an email marketing agency for like agencies and services. They signed a company, and the company's like, hey, listen, we want to treat cold email like Facebook ad and optimization and everything like that. And what does that actually mean? They try to make every tiny little bug, like they were like, okay, we're going to change the CTA from here to here, and we're going to make this the way we say this phrase a little different, and we're going to change the offer just a little bit to make it sound a little better. And the guy was like, it's not going to work. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, cold email isn't like that. And for me, I could say the same thing. Warm email marketing isn't like that. They pressed on. They're like, yeah, we want to do it. And he's like, oh, fine, okay. So they started doing it. And I don't know if it was a month later or 2 months later, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. Literally, and it wasn't a fluke too. Like they were, it was a big company. They were sending, I don't know the exact number, but I assume tens of thousands of emails out per day, or maybe per week, per month. And it was and by the way, I'm saying like tens of thousands, like it's like to cold audience, by the way. So this is a big market. And nothing happened. And same thing. I'll go the Alex Ramosi route. It's like, I don't really have anything proving this, but it's just from my experience, my itch and feeling from working with 20 different e-commerce brands. And A/B testing is really overrated. Now, I say that for brands under 10,000 profiles. If you're above 10,000 profiles and you're sending multiple emails out, then I would say, yeah, it's a good idea. But this is a very tough thing to see other smaller brands do. When I say smaller, I just mean small in the sense of like, their list isn't that big or their online presence isn't that big. It's a very tough thing to see because they're spending so much time trying to optimize, and because I see it first, or I've experienced it firsthand, and trying to make the little buttons a little rounder and this and that, and it doesn't make any difference. Opposed to saying, how can we make the email copy better, the design better? How can we make our deliverability 100 times better? Those are the things that matter. So A/B tests are worth doing if you have above 10,000 profiles. And you have a strong online presence. And if you don't worry about it. Like I'm trying to find an exception, but like I honestly can't think of anything. Don't worry about it. Just do your best on the emails and you'll be fine. Number 5, treat email marketing, and I just made a video on this like 10 minutes ago. Treat email marketing as an omni-channel presence. The video might have came out by the time you're seeing this, and if it's not, I'll make a whole another video on it that you'll see eventually. And I'll probably title it like the dirty little secret of email marketing. And the whole video was basically me saying, attribution isn't perfect, right? So, big thing with email marketing, especially with Klaviyo, Omnisend, is that the attribution is flawed. So the way it actually works is you send an email out, and let's just say I'm the person that receives the email. I check the email out, I open it, I click on it, I'm like, okay, this is fire, but I don't want to buy it. And then my date goes on. 2 days later, I go on Facebook, I get an ad from your brand, and I see, oh man, this is a crazy new product. Oh, well, I'm gonna go with the bad scenario first. So they see the product and they're like, okay, I'm gonna buy, and then they buy from the Facebook ad. And I mean, that's their little secret, because Klaviyo or OmniSend, they'll also track that sale. Now, there's ways to kind of mess with it. Like if instead of typically the default is 5 days. So if somebody clicks and opens your email in the next 5 days, if you buy, Klaviyo will track that. Again, that's Klaviyo, and you can mess with that. But yeah, that's how it is. Now, the reason I don't think that's a great argument is because it's almost never how it actually plays out in real life. If I check an email from you out, if you send an email to me and I see it and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a value statement email. So, if I see it, it's like, okay, the top 5 ways not to, gain weight this holiday season. I see, choose healthy snacks, make sure no artificial dyes, no artificial flavorings, this and that. And, hiddenly a unique selling point of your product. So if you're, better for you chocolate, you could say, and snack on, sweets without all the extra sugar, and then that's when you put in your product. If I see that email and I see those types of emails from your brand and I consistently open them and click them in the period of 1, 2, 3 weeks, the moment I buy, if it's from Facebook, sure, the sale was made on Facebook. And I'm not saying that didn't have any part. If the Facebook ad wasn't there, they wouldn't have bought. I get it. Well, that even then. But let's just say that, that's the case. I got informed from your brand so many times from the emails that you sent me, from your flows, from your emails or your campaigns, from multiple different angles, SMS, WhatsApp, multiple different spots, that when I actually buy, yes, the sale might have been made on Facebook, but those emails prepped me to actually buy. Another perfect example is if you run a sale, I may see, oh man, this is great, 20% off site wide, no code needed, this is great, but I gotta walk my dog, I'll buy it when I get back. I may forget about it, but 2 days later, I'm like, oh shoot, that 20% off. And then a bunch of little things come in your head. Oh man, it's a better for you chocolate. It has, 0 calories, no artificial flavorings, if that's even possible. Bunch of different things. I'm gonna go back and buy it. But nobody's gonna go back on the email to go to the website. They're just gonna go directly to the website. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is that yes, email marketing attribution is not 100% perfect and it is flawed at the moment of making this video, but doesn't mean you could discredit email marketing as a whole. And why am I even saying this entire thing? Number 5, my apologies. Treat email marketing as an omni-channel presence. Did you hear my ass? Sound like a sheep or something. But anyways, yeah, so treat email marketing as an omni-channel presence. And even if you're a brand owner watching this, if you're trying to work with an agency, and again, I'm saying this not even because of me, like I'm being so truthful, long-term, retainer is always the way to go. And the reason because of this is because you're not messing with attribution. If you do commission, there's going to be a time, and again, if you're a smaller brand, then do it. It's better than nothing. And matter of fact, you're helping each other out. But if you're a bigger brand that's making 100 grand a month, 200, and you still want to work with a company on a commission basis, it's a very tough thing to do, because they're either going to get pissed off because you make the attribution setting one day when they know their sales that were made because their emails, but that were just made on another platform. And if you do have the 5-day attribution, you're going to be pissed off because you're like, well, I know that their sales that were not attributed to email, and vice versa. So trust me, this is 5.5. Retainer, if you're like an e-commerce brand, if you're thinking of working with an agency, retainer is the way to go. I highly recommend it, not even because I'm saying it. I've tried both. Now we mainly just do retainer, and it works out, and best of both worlds. Number 6, a bit of a funny one. Text-based emails come in clutch. I'm using my back hat lingo now. No, but yeah, text-based emails are so great. Here's the reason why, and I literally just included this one last minute because of a specific brand that we work with we signed 1 or 2 months ago, and text-based emails literally saved our ass. I don't think that's a swear word. If it is, I'm truly sorry. But truly, the point is, I'll tell you a bit of a story. Essentially what happened is we signed a client, no email marketing. I'm talking 0, nada. So, is he a Mexican on us? No, but they had nothing. They had literally no email marketing, and that's not a big surprise, right? I mean, we work with other brands that we start their email marketing, a lot of them, and we set them up. We get them on this other platform. It wasn't Klaviyo, and we're doing all that good stuff, and we start sending emails out. Now, the way we do email marketing, the way we warm up an email is first, we send to 200 people, then 400, then 800, 1600, and you keep doubling it up until your open rates just go really, really crappy. So now they're like at 10%, 20%, or sometimes we open the list up by a long shot if we know that, hey, we're consistently getting 50% open rates. I think it's worth, sending to the whole list. And usually we'll start off with text-based emails. Why? Because they don't have as many, there's not as many images. There's no images. So in the eyes of like Google, Yahoo, they treat that more like as a normal email, so they won't spam you too much. Still a chance, but not as much. And we do our process. So we start sending emails out, mainly only text-based emails, and we go from like 5% to 10% to 20%, 40% open rates, and it's going good. Now, the moment we try to switch to a graphic-based email, it tanked. And I'm like, okay, understandable, it happens. Let me tighten up the list first. So instead of sending to 20-day engage, I'm gonna say people who have opened the email in the last 5 days, 10 days. I send another graphic-based email. Tank's even worse. Now this kind of messes with me because I'm like, okay, well, I literally just sent the email out to a very engaged list. Like these are people who have opened the emails in the last 5 days. So I'm like, oh man. I sent another one. I don't remember exactly. I think I just tried another segment, and I do that thing again for like 3-4 times, and none of them are working. Now I'm like, and the whole kind of like a pressure of this thing is that the brand literally just came off like a Shark Tank episode. It's not actually Shark Tank. It's you can check them out. It's called Potion Skincare. That's the brand. But it's called Idea Baz. It's like an Indian version of Shark Tank, and they do it really good. But now we got to start sending these emails out, and our deliverability is still really, really crappy. And the only emails that we're able to send out are graphic-based emails. Now, I love text-based emails because I think they're great. And I've even said in other videos where I'm like, hey, text-based emails are great, but don't send them all the time, or else you're not going to make any sales. But now I'm kind of left in a dilemma because I can't send another graphic-based email until I figure this thing out. And we need to start making more. Rather, we need to start sending emails out to a very big list. So I'm like, okay, the best thing we could do as of now is just, my idea was like, let's just go back to text-based emails. Let's just crank up the deliverability. So instead of having like 20 people, 50%, or let me simplify it. Instead of having like 2,000 people super engaged with it, let's get it to 10,000. And then once we hit 10,000 people that are really engaged with the emails, then we go back on graphic-based emails. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh man, these are text-based emails. If I just keep sending them out, they're not going to perform as well or as good. But I'm like, what other choice do I have? So I sent it out, and we started doing text-based emails again. Good thing, expected. Open rate shoot up again. Now they're at 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. Now it's going good. But again, I'm like, well, we got to make sure that we send it to a big list. So we're sending the emails out, and for context, as I mentioned before, it's not like you could go from like 100 or 2,000 people to 10,000 people like that. You can, but the chances of you getting flagged as spam are way higher. So it's very, very tough. So I'm thinking like, man, we're going to have to send another like 5-6 of these text-based emails until we go back to a graphic-based email. And we start sending them out. And in my mind, this is my expectation. Open rates are going to get better, and that's my goal. Even if we don't make a lot of sales, that's fine. It's a long-term play. Let's just get the deliverability set up, and then we'll go graphic-based emails and start making up. But here's the funny thing that happened. We start sending the text-based email. The first email, great. I expect it, right? Text-based email feels personalized. We haven't sent one in a few email campaigns. Nonetheless, people haven't received any emails yet or opened them. So I'm like, okay, cool. A lot of money. Open rates are going good. The next one I send, open rates get a little better, and we send that side of the things is going well. But the next email makes more money. I'm like, oh, that's cool. The next one I send, even more money or just about the same. Now in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I don't really expect this. And the fourth one gets sent out, and the fifth and sixth. And in like that 5 to 6 period, or 5 to 6 email period that we sent out, they made bank. And how does this relate to the story of why they come in clutch? Not only did it fix the deliverability issue, because literally today it got so much better. We could finally send graphic-based emails now, and it's looking a lot better. And the open rates are like 40, 50 now, so we're good, and to a decent amount of the list, and we're warming up. But not only that, but they still made a lot of money. Now, I'm not gonna play dumb. Like, I'm sure if I do this for a long enough period, if I only send text-based emails for, another month, 2 months, they'll still make sales, but I guarantee you it'll start falling down. But in that period, it worked perfectly. So what am I, trying to say to you? What I'm trying to say to you is, if you are a new brand or your deliverability is shot, or for some reason your designer leaves and you can't, send out graphic-based emails, rely on text-based emails. Like, truly rely on them. Don't be scared that, oh man, people are going to get annoyed. You're sending them an email. An email is an email either way. So either way, they're either going to get annoyed or they're not. And if you do it, if you give value, which you can, text-based emails, like, for sure give value. I mean, that, like, validating emails that are text-based emails crush it as well. But rely on them. Don't freak out. So if you're ever, tied on cash for hiring a designer, or maybe you're, the designer is on leave, or you're looking for a new one, just send text-based emails out. And then I will make another note. This is like a 0.5, but it just came to mind and I want to mention it. So this is like number 6.5, and it's just I want to phrase this in the best way possible. The damage of not doing email marketing does more damage than sending crappy emails out. Now, I know that sounds super bad. That sounds super bad coming from me, because I preach, don't send crappy emails. But problem solved, just send a text-based email. There's no graphics in that, so problem solved, literally. But the damage in not sending emails out, especially, and this for your big brands, because the bigger brands are like, oh no, we're invincible. The problem is, if you're a big brand and you start collecting a lot of emails, and you have a platform like Alia, shout out Alia, by the way, killing it with their team. I highly suggest them, and they don't pay for say that or anything like that. I really do enjoy their platform, kill it, like, truly great product, great service, everything. If you were a big brand and you start collecting a lot of email subscribers, eventually you're thinking, we could just keep pushing email off more and more and more, because in the meantime we're still getting a lot of email subscribers. When we do email marketing officially, and we actually focus on that, then it'll be good. Then we could, those 50,000, 100,000 person list is still waiting for us. But when you actually start it, and it's been 5 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years since not doing anything with your emails, you would be lucky if you get 20% of that list to re-engage with you. Because the problem most people don't see is that, that's pretty cool. The problem most people don't see is that email marketing is, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use your list, you lose it. Why? Because when people sign up to your emails, they have that urgency. They sign up for a reason, right? Whether they saw an ad, maybe they saw from organic, one way or another. So they sign up to your emails intentionally. They have a want, they have a need, or else they wouldn't have signed up. It doesn't even mean they want to buy. Maybe they just want more information, but they have a life, and this too. People don't care about your brand as much as you do. So they'll sign up to your email, and they'll expect maybe 10% off, 20% off, and maybe you have your basic welcome email, but then you're not going to send any more email marketing materials out, because that's not your focus, right? And unless in the rare chance that you have like retargeting ads on Facebook, you're going to lose them. And again, the problem is that even if you do make more sales from that customer through Facebook on a long enough time horizon through retargeting ads, when you do email market it again, it's not only the problem that they forget about you. The second problem is that how can I phrase it? The deliverability issues, right? Because you haven't sent out your those emails because you haven't marketed to those people in a very long time, Google's gonna see that and they're gonna be like, yo, why is this guy sending an email to this person? Even if they intentionally signed up. So now you're finding like an uphill battle, because number one, they don't even remember your brand, at least through the email marketing side, and number two, now you got to get your deliverability higher, so you could actually send email marketing material to them. And that's a whole process itself. I literally just told a story. So the point is, if you are a big brand, doesn't matter if you're big, small, medium, just do email marketing. Just do it, even if it's once a week. Just to keep your but keep your deliverability unlocked. Just send it out so that when you actually do start scaling up, you have the ability. You're not like, oh, now we gotta send to a very small list, then a bigger list, and instead of one email a week, we want to do 5, but or 3, 4, but we have to go through that process of warming it up. If you just send one email a week, you'll be fine. You won't have to worry about that, because your inbox or your email address is literally warmed up, so you're fine. Not perfect, right? but it'll be fun. That's my point something. Next one, number 7. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to send emails out by yourself. This is number 7. So again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to send emails out by yourself, but you're going to see a massive difference in performance when you have a team. And when I say team, I also mean somebody in-house. If you want, like, just, and again, it's just more convenient if you have an agency. But the point is, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm going to do this myself, and I'm going to lone wolf it, and I'm going to send the emails out myself, and I just heard Alex say that text-based emails are great, and that's all I'm going to do. Again, I guarantee you after a few months, you'll still make sales, but they're going to drop dramatically, or you're going to be missing out on a lot of revenue that you could have if you send graphic-based emails. But I'm going to send them out myself, and I'm going to do this, blah, blah. And you may be able to, go ahead, right ahead. But I'm telling you, you will see a massive increase in performance of your emails and your SMS messages and your WhatsApp messages if you have a team behind it. And when I say, again, that also means just somebody in-house. And if you can't afford in-house, that's why I preach agencies so much. In certain contexts, hire an agency, right? You're getting the best of both worlds. I mean, I made a video, I don't know when I made this, but basically the whole reason I love the agency model so much for other brands, thinking in their shoes, is because you're literally paying them. You're literally paying an agency to give you the best marketing experts they can find to work on your brand for a fifth, tenth of the price. And that's the whole point. And again, like, I really want to stress this. You could do email marketing by yourself, but just trying to do it by yourself or with a very, very small team, up to one other person. But when you hire a team, or whether it be an agency and whatever, when you have a team working for you, you're going to see a massive increase in performance because, number one, you're getting input from multiple different people. Number two, it's a lot more I'm so sorry, I cannot speak. It's a lot more coherent because your marketing messages are going to align, right? You have your Facebook emails, or your Facebook ads, your Google ads, your TikTok. But then because you have a team, they could correlate with that team or correlate with you, and you could plan out the sales, make sure everything makes more sense. Even within the email marketing ecosystem, which is SMS, WhatsApp, and email marketing, it's a lot more coherent, which over time is going to make you more sales. And just the amount of quality people could put on it. I mean, think about it. If you're a founder, if you're the same person packing your orders, running the business, making the ads, launching the ads, and on top of that, now you're like, oh man, I want to make email because I hear retention is amazing. So now you're trying to do emails, and now you have to plan out the calendar, or if you want to freestyle it even more, just send an email out whenever. Or, you have so much stuff on your plate, it doesn't make sense. Just hire a team member, and it will make you more money. Think conceptually, right? If you're like at $1,000 a month, then no. But if you're at, I wouldn't want to do this personally, but even if you're at $10,000 a month, like that's a starting point. I'm sure you could find somebody like me 2 years ago, right? Somebody in school, high school, senior year, I think, or junior, senior year, trying to make a few bucks, trying to make a name for himself, and he will work on your brand like it's his own baby. So that's the point. So again, not saying you shouldn't try, but I'm telling you, you're going to see a massive increase in performance and revenue and a lot of other things when you have a team working for you instead of doing it all by yourself. Number 8, the last 2, take inspiration from other brands. Very, very simple. I actually suggested software. I actually like this one. I recently found it. I actually like it a lot. So when we make our emails, if you look at any of the tutorial videos I made of like how to make copy or how to actually make an email, I just launched the video December or November, like 15th-ish, and it's me like literally making like 3 emails. It's like an hour-long video. It's dope. But you're gonna see that every email we make, we have an email to take inspiration from, and it just helps a ton. I'm gonna be honest. Sign up to emails, either by yourself. Go to reallygoodemails.com, mail.com. I'm gonna suggest you a cool software that you could use. And it's like, I forgot how much it is, but I think it's worth it. And just take inspiration. Look at multiple different brands that have similar, even if they're not in your same industry. Just look at completely different brands too, and just take like the ideas, the fundamental ideas, or the structure of the email, of the idea of the email, the topic of the email, and recreate it for your own brand. And this helps a ton. I'm gonna be very, very honest. It's just you're getting so much input. This is the thing that I like to say a lot is preach. You're getting so much input from multiple different angles, not only from your agency, but your agency is getting in multiple different angles from multiple different brands. I could go into the whole long story, but the point is, you're having a lot more angles to take inspiration from, and it's literally like a 5x improvement on literally the inspiration phase. Like if you try to come up with the email ideas all by yourself, you'll come up with some cool ideas because it's your own brand, and you'll think of things that no other brand owner thought of, because your brand is unique, hopefully. But when you look at other email designs, you're going to take inspiration. You're going to start, putting pieces together like, oh, this brand that's a supplement brand, I know it's not what I sell, but oh, they made a routine email and they formatted it like this. Oh, what if I do that? Or what if I do that? Like, oh, this brand right here, they did 12 weeks of, or 12 days of Christmas. Oh, what if I do 12 weeks of detox, or 12 days of lifting, or whatever? Oh, that could work well. And you're going to start putting a lot of pieces together. And that all comes from inspiration. So take your time. I'm not saying sit down or do this, but if you have an agency, I'm sure they do this. I'm not telling them to do this, but just look at a bunch of different emails from multiple different brands and take inspiration from them. And then go as far as taking inspiration on the structure. That's how we do it. We put the email design like on the Figma file, and then this is where they make the email, and they just kind of copy and just copy paste. Obviously they can't do that, but the point is they take a lot of inspiration from the email, and that's pretty much it. So number 8, take inspiration from other brands. I like it. If you know, you know. Number 9, the last one I'm going to say, it's the Wild Wild West. I'm going to put up a video very soon, and it's going to be reviewing the biggest brands you know. Not even the biggest brands, the brands the brands that you see on LinkedIn. You're like, oh man, that founder, he's doing cool stuff. Oh, they're only at $1 million, $2 million a year. They're going to go big. Those brands, big and small, and I'm glad more brands are doing this now, which is the point of this. It's the Wild Wild West. They have crappy emails. And that's a gold mine for you. The way I look, and I'll say this, the way I like to look at problems is like, for example, let's just say that I know like, oh, if my partner comes up to me, he's like, yo, bro, like, this new cold email outreach is like the best thing, since sliced bread, and we're getting so many more clients, and this other agency tried it and they made results, and I tried a little bit of myself, and I just got a book call and it's proof of concept and it's working. I don't see that as in, dang, we could have done that for so long, I missed that, how could I do that? I just get hyped because I'm like, the amount of revenue or sales or book calls I'm going to get is crazy, because I know there's a huge potential of increasing. And I think the worse it gets, the happier I am, because even though, yes, of course, I should have caught this earlier, or, we could have done this earlier, why didn't we think of it? I'm like, that's like a 5x in the business right there. That's 10x, that's 20x, 20x in booked meetings, 20x in quality, in delivery, in fulfillment. And that's the way I like to think of it. So when I say this is that email marketing is still, it's getting to the point where it's getting close to like everybody's doing it, but you're not there yet. I give it maybe 1 year, 2 years at the most, where I don't know, to be honest, but do email marketing. It's the Wild Wild West. That's a great opportunity. If you can't, and I'm telling you, if you cannot, and you probably will not beat your competitors or your big brand, brands that that sell the exact same thing as you, but supposedly better, you're not going to beat them in Facebook ads, because that's the thing everybody's going crazy about. But you could beat them in email marketing. And I'm saying that you can beat them in email marketing. And this is why I make those videos, because I want to make sure that you take advantage of this Wild Wild West. It's the Wild Wild West. So do email marketing. Trust me, it's going to work a lot. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. God bless you all. I hope Jesus Christ comes into your life, truly. Everything's to him. And if you have any questions, and if you wanted to possibly get some help with your own email marketing, feel free to book a call. First link in the description, take you to booking page. 24 hours after booking, we're going to recreate an email for you of your welcome email. So we'll create a welcome email for your brand, and we'll send it before the call. So God bless you guys. Hope Jesus Christ enters your life. Talk to you soon.